So we are here with the WNIT, the women's NIT 226 tour bracket. There's first round games. Most of the first round games were on the 19th. 12 of the 16 were. 2 were on Saturday the 20th, and there's 1 on the 21st Saturday. Or 2 on the 21st Saturday. So let's go talk about who wins and who's advancing. And who's advancing to the first round? Who's advancing to the second round, and where's it hosting? So you have Pepperdine defeat UCavis 71-60. Pepperdine was the host for round 1, and Pepperdine wins. The second round, the WNIT, the hosts, the teams who get to bye in the second round do host. But if they can't host due to whatever reason, then Southern Utah couldn't host the Pepperdine. Southern Utah couldn't host Pepperdine for whatever reason. Like maybe they're doing, maybe they have something going on at the school, like that they need the gym for, and it's on Sunday, so the 22nd. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern, all times Eastern time. So it's at 3 Pacific. So Pepperdine with the host. And then they do seed them. And the team who gets a higher seed does get first pick, most likely. But if they can't host, the other team will get a host, most likely. And then they do have it where split revenue, where most split revenue, you either if you want to win, you can pay the host outright. Like the $10,000. Well, a lot of times what they do is they just do like the 50% split with revenue the home team does, instead of paying the money to host outright as the away team. And then we have Northern Colorado defeats South Dakota Air Force. Northern Colorado City and St. Louis Air Force. That's in Carlson at Air Force. So South Dakota should host Northern Colorado. Just to be determined what time. Portland defeats Sam Houston 60-59. So the Southland team in Lamar, they're going to host for most likely. It's to be determined what time. Montana State takes the Big Sky, really top Big Sky team. It takes on San Francisco, good team out of the West Coast Conference. Not the top West Coast Conference team. Not a top West Coast Conference team, but good solid West Coast Conference team. They beat Utah Valley 80-50. They should play at Montana State, but it's to be determined. We'll see. That's in the top left. And that's bottom left. Norfolk State and Chicago hasn't played. They play winner place for the Gulf Coast. George Washington beat Bradley 63-60 at 6 p.m. Eastern on the 19th in Washington, D.C. at George Washington. Southern Indiana most likely will host George Washington. George Washington is under 500. I don't think George Washington. Southern Indiana will host. If they can host, most likely. And then FIU and Stetson from Friday takes it on Abilene Christian. Winner takes on Abilene Christian. And then we have the University of Texas. University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. They beat Austin Peay 71-59. And then Illinois State hosting the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley Sunday 22nd at 2 Eastern. That's on the bottom left. On the top left, right, Army taking on NJT after NJT won 68-65 over Merrimack. In North Andover, Massachusetts. Merrimack, that's where Merrimack is. And Army and NJT, it's in West Point. Sunday at 2 Eastern. And they play 3 days for the first each round, except for the Fab Four. It's only 2 days, the first and the 31st and the 1st. Which is that Tuesday, Wednesday. Now they have 2 days in between last day of the first round, the grade 8 and the Fab 4. And the Super 16, that's kind of their version of like the Sweet 16. And then Army is in West Point, obviously. Binghamton beats Mercyhurst on the road. Mercyhurst was at home in Erie, Pennsylvania. Binghamton won 60. LaSalle hosting Binghamton, and they'll travel to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on the 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then Youngstown State takes on Marin Eastern Shore on the 24th in Youngstown at 6:30 Eastern, as the Wake Forest Demon Deacons hosted the Marin Eastern Shore Hawks. The Marin Eastern Shore Hawks won 59-40. And then Marshall, the first round bye team, they take on UMBC in Clinton, West Virginia, on the 23rd, Monday at 6 Eastern. UMBC taking on, in overtime, they took down Ohio in Athens, 62-58. On the bottom right, Elkhorn State and South Alabama are playing on Saturday. Winner takes on Purdue 14. Radford, Morgan State winner or going to happen on Friday. They'll take on Arkansas State. And then Middle Tennessee State, the first round bye team, taking on St. Bonaventure in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, on the 23rd, which is Monday at 7 Eastern. St. Bonaventure will take on Drexel. St. Bonaventure took on Drexel. St. Bonaventure on the 19th in 16-16 in overtime. And Cleveland State will take on Monmouth after a Monmouth Hawks 72-62. Monmouth beats Lehigh. And then that's in West Long Branch, New Jersey. Cleveland State should host Monmouth, but if Cleveland State is unable to host, Monmouth will host.